Hi, I calmed down. Um, Putin is a crying baby. Putin is a crying baby. And that hospital, Jefferson Hospital, has a gang of doctors working for him. They're reading everything, listening to all the videos. So I doubt getting evaled and forcibly, involuntarily committed and put in straitjacket for having some substance abusing fucking juvenile delinquents. Can't even keep a dog on the leash and it runs into someone else's private property and gets his ass mauled by the neighbor dog. Somehow I'm getting arrested. This protection here, I can't talk about it. They protect each other. It's a little tribe, and it's not just a little tribe. I can't fucking talk about it. What I'm allowed to say I put in writing is not my fucking department. And I can cuss and I can tell little Jefferson Hospital to come see me. I can show off a little bit, when I'm saying Putin is a crying baby, but I didn't do that. No, it took macho men to do that. Maybe like a couple of sisters, but no. What's going on in the Northwest Territory? No, it's not a lot of ladies happening here, running around. No, not with what the good military is pulling off. Maybe some of the sisters, maybe some of the sisters in the Air Force, certain departments, but no, not on the ground. No, not on the ground. No, the bros on the ground here running around with me. No, and it's a copy of the Capitol. Like half the time in the Capitol, I just sat there, man. There's nothing I could do. I just sat on that red chair. I did logistics and shit like that, which the world knows. But did a lot of counterterrorism. Yeah, the world knows. But I couldn't be physically involved with that shit that happened in the Capitol. You could walk your ass down to the White House 10 minutes. So I knew what kind of bullshit Biden and Trump were trying to pull on the television because it kept going on the freaking TV. And sometimes it would be like 10 minutes after the most insane historic events were taking place right down the street. And so a lot of the people, and it's clear to say this, that they wanted to go where the action was in the capital of the United States. So they would come up to S Street because of the aircraft, the obvious armed conflict that was going on. Is night and day. You could see helicopters shining strobe lights night and day in the yards. It was unbelievable. And when I said that they were lighting up the corpses and burning them, and you could smell the human bodies burning, they were taking the dead bodies and burning them. And I thought it was cannibalism. So I believe a lot of it was because of the two that were in that property before they were, they died, they died in the property. And both of them were hauled out in body bags. They were cannibalizing. I know that. I witnessed that. I saw that with my eyes. I actually witnessed that. But the corpses were being burnt at some point there. I put it on the internet and they lit up the entire block of S Street. You could smell the human body burning. It's nothing you want to smell. So people were literally coming to that block because that's where the action was. Oh yeah, no doubt. I saw it. I was there for 6 years, and I'm not the only one that saw it. It's all these military officials that saw it. They were involved with that combat. The body count was real. So when you read in Alaska that there's a rash of suicides on those bases, it's not suicides. That's what Donald Trump is telling the family members. That all of a sudden, all these guys in Alaska up there in the army just killed themselves. It's not what happened. They've been engaged in combat with the U.S. Navy SEALs, with the good military. That's what I call them. Donald Trump's to a point now where he's having a real hard time covering up the body count of his own enlisted service members. And here's another one. Here's some of their guys. That South Korea unit that went over, they're dangerous, man. That's why I sit in my room. That's why I sat in my room in the Capitol. Okay, they're like a special unit. Don't get me on words. You don't see a lot of girls running around with them. No. They were in South Korea. They said they were training or practicing. No, they were actually engaged in combat with our good guys. And they do often put it in paper. And they have spots where they are in the Middle East too. They're wearing our U.S. uniform. But they'll let anybody wear those uniforms. And I've said that. They'll let these Iranian guard wear the uniform. They'll let the Taliban wear the uniform. I saw so many freaking Arabs running around in that house. It'd blow your mind and knock your head out. Okay, so the stuff that I'm seeing here in Port Townsend, I'm not allowed to talk about. And you can see is in writing. It's not my department, but they're being pushed out of the Northwest Territory. Do you think I'm doing that? No. All right. But at that point in time when they're being pushed out, the bad guys, whoever you want, I just explained it to you. Bremerton's been really diminished. And I didn't do that. I've been in here on my knees praying for my mother's life, praying for my life, praying for her husband's life. As much as I speak ill of him, the moment I get money, I'm buying her a stupid house. They're leaving with their dog. They don't know that, but they can read that. They know that now. It doesn't matter, okay? They'll do it. They're leaving the country, okay? Because what happens at that point is there's serious missiles that start dropping. So what I'm doing is I'm evacuating them. They're going to have a house. They're going to have their dog. I don't want their dog. I don't want their house. All this crackhead shit they're talking is not the truth. I'm evacuating them. And then what happens to Port Townsend is you will see the Red Cross here because there'll be need for that. There's going to be serious strikes taken here. This city has put their name on the map. And that Jefferson Hospital up there, I can't talk about this block, okay? But that Jefferson Hospital that sits up there, waiting for me to say something on these video cameras, to have these folks around here call in some fake cops to have me illegally arrested. So those doctors at Jefferson who work for Saudi Arabia, who work for India, who work for Pakistan, who work for Vladimir Putin, who work for Donald Trump, who work for all these war criminal atrocity wannabe dictators. You know, oh, and the drug cartel's big. The drug addiction here is fucking bad. So, you know, you're sitting up there at that hospital, you go ahead and enjoy these videos, you fucking fucks. And I can't even talk about anything here, and I don't plan to. The fact that these are my legal relatives is massively huge. No, Donald Trump is not going to hide information from me about my own mother as much as he hopes and dreams. And this is directly involved with Vladimir Putin. This shit will bring fucking motherfuckers down. So I want her safe. So as far as these other people around here, I don't pray for them. I'm not evacuating their ass. If they're smart, they might want to make plans like that around here. I mean, I can't talk about what I witnessed 24/7 here. But unless you're on something really, really hard, like meth or crack, or you're maybe doing PCP, then that would be your reason why you haven't entertain that notion. Okay, because it is that serious. I could not fucking believe my eyes when I came here, man. But long and short, okay, I'm healthy. It's gotten a lot better here. I'm still racing. Yeah, it's targeted. It's really horrible. My only job now is to evacuate my mother and her spouse when the time comes. They can say, oh, I'm in fantasy, call the cops, she's crazy. They don't want me to get that money. It's my combat pay. They're working with their little Putin and their little Trump and their little white nationals in the Northwest Territory to keep me from getting my combat pay. Because the moment I get my combat pay, they feel really threatened, but they don't know I'm flying their asses out and evacuating them. I'm getting them a fucking house and they can take their fucking dog. I don't want them here. So, you know, when you call your cops and you make a big drama in your property, I suggest you don't. All I did today was fix the bathroom up for her husband and give him little white washcloths, and I gave him a bar of soap, and I baby him. The guy does not deserve to be threatened and scared for his life and then imprisoned and all this shit. Why Putin and Trump and Hagsworth and all this crowd from Biden's administration and these NBC cats and these Fox cats, these Fox News cats, while they sit on TV still profiting off cable news network profits, while everybody underneath them fucking gets their head cut off. It's not how it works. All right, so my crazy mom and her crazy husband will get out of Port Townsend and be evacuated, all right? So kiss my fucking ass.